Every day in this country, 17 people die waiting for donor organs. They're mostly kidneys and livers, and it impacts people of all ages. One Connecticut man and his family have lived with this desperation, and now for the first time, some new advances could completely change their reality and the reality for thousands of people on those wait lists. News 8's Lisa Carberg has this special report.
Imagine getting sick and being told that unless you get a donor kidney or liver, you will die. That's the reality that 100,000 people in the country are now living with every day. Ken Ferrucci of West Hartford knows firsthand.
I was 50, and I was diagnosed with end-stage liver disease.
That was in 2020. For Ken and his family, the future was unknown. The cause was addiction. He continued getting sicker and waiting for a deceased donor. Things were looking bleak for Ferrucci, waiting for someone who was a match to die so he could live. Dr. David Mulligan heads up Yale New Haven's transplant program.
The supply of organs are always far short of meeting those needs at this time.
After a couple of years, I was at the point where I was not going to be a priority to get a deceased donor, and I needed my best opportunity for something was to look for a living donation.
Unlike waiting for a deceased donor, a living donor gives either one of their kidneys or a section of their liver. Livers regenerate quickly.
The donor and the recipient, they both grow back their livers in 3-4 weeks' time after the operation.
Ferrucci now needed to somehow seek out his own living donor to save his life. With Yale's guidance, he turned to Facebook. Over and over, people shared his plea. Many got tested, none matched. Ferrucci's thoughts always with his sons and what their future would be like without him. Then, last September, a call came. Finally, there was a match. A complete stranger saw the pictures of Ferrucci's family. That man was Dana Adams in North Carolina.
I'm a grandfather to a beautiful 2-year-old boy, and honestly, through that weekend when I was mulling this over, I just couldn't stop thinking about, would he ever have an opportunity to be a granddad like me? At the end of the day, the answer was easy.
Until then, Adams, like so many, did not know about living organ donation. His life-saving act led to the transplant at Yale in January. Ferrucci received the gift of life, a part of a stranger's liver. The mystery now, who was his donor?
One of the surgeons said, I have a paper in my hand. This is a handwritten letter from your donor, and he wanted you to have this note. And before I even read the note, I just broke down.
An unbelievable act of kindness. 1 month later, Ken and Dana met in person.
He was just so caring and wanting to let me know how much he appreciated the gift of his life and what he stands to be able to do.
There were no tears, instead poking fun over their baseball rivalries, their bond now for life. And now science and technology are changing the donor organ landscape. It could mean someday no one would be waiting. Already, organ perfusion tunes up donor organs, improving their quality before transplantation. Something called xenotransplantation is being done using genetically modified pig organs in humans. Sadly, the first human to receive one in March, Richard Slayman, recently passed away.
They're probably not going to last as long as a human kidney, but it's a great way to get people off dialysis. So that's a great emerging technology.
The biggest breakthrough could be 3D organ printing, like this being done at Wake Forest University Institute for Regenerative Medicine. The goal, to use organ tissue in a lab to actually bioprint human organs like livers and kidneys. It uses a patient's own DNA. Here, an actual kidney is being made, making kidney cells from actual stem cells and the finished working product. They have created human ears and digits. Scientists also working on valves, vessels, and muscles that pump blood.
We still have a ways to go before we're going to be ready to just walk in and sample our buccal mucosa inside our cheek, get the cells, and then start making our own organs for us. But it's exciting research, and it's amazing that the leaps that they've already made.
And Dr. Mulligan says we are still years from seeing these technologies used every day to save lives. But the fact that advances continue to emerge encourages those thousands of people waiting for donor organs, hoping for a longer life. Lisa Carberg, News 8.